Michael. Hi, everybody. This question is for Brenden, which I'm sure will shock him.
What's up, Jonathan?
Mauricio said a few days ago he had quite a bit to say about you and wanting to find your best position for this team. And what's it been like working with him so far? Obviously, what have these few days been like getting to know him? And what do you make of that, of him wanting to find the position that best suits you and try to keep you there? Thanks.
Yeah, for me, I think the last couple of days, getting to know him, getting to know the whole staff around him, it's been really good. I feel like we've already learned a lot. We learned about the style of play that we want to play today at training. It's just been really good. I think everybody's really ready to learn from him, and everybody, you can just see the buzz and its excitement. So it's really good. And I think for me, I know what position I am. I know I've played all over the place with national team, maybe with club, but I've always been a midfielder, and I always see myself as that. But I'm always a guy that can play different positions. But I think where I'm playing at my club right now, the number 10 and in between the lines, maybe as a 8-2 is my best position. So yeah, just try to keep playing there and get better and better.
Next will be Henry Bushnell from Yahoo.
Thanks, Michael. Hey, Brenden and Josh, appreciate your time. Just to follow up on that, Brenden, you said just today, learning about the style of play that he wants you guys to play. Either you can answer this or Josh can chime in as well. What is that style of play? And what have you guys learned so far about what he is gonna want to see on the field?
You
Go ahead.
I would say like one thing that we know for sure that we've really rehashed is the intensity of what we want to play at. We want to play at a high intensity. We want to play in the other team's half. We want to have possession of the ball. And I think what he wants is just a confident team, and that's what we're going to be. And is there anything else to add to that?
No, I think he said we're going to go over a bit more tactical stuff tomorrow and the next day, but just a general message of anything we do, whether with the ball or against the ball, he wants it to be intense. If we lose the ball, recover it right away. That's been a big, message so far.
Next will be Ron Blum from the Associated Press.
Hey, Josh. I wanted to go back about how the ankle is. I saw you missed the September camp. Does everything with the ankle stem from the injury against Huddersfield and just the recovery time from the surgery? And what's the condition of the ankle these days?
Yeah, it's been a long process, obviously, dealing with it. Yes, there have been little things that have come from the original ankle injury, but at the moment, I've had a good run of games. I'm playing 90 minutes pretty much every game now, and it feels like it's in a really good place.
We'll go to Charlie Bone from MLSsoccer.com.
Hey guys, thanks for speaking today. I have one for each of you. The first one, Josh, it seems like you're playing at a really high level right now, watching you with Norwich, and just wonder what's gone into that and how you feel about your current form. And then Brenden, you and I talked a little bit over the summer, and you hadn't yet announced that you're going to go back to Leeds, but I wanted to ask what went into that decision, and what these first few months have been like for you, performing pretty well underneath what I would call a stern microscope among the supporters there.
I'll start. I think, it's a new manager for us at the moment. He's come in and given us a lot of new ideas, and game by game, I feel like we, as a team, have been improving, and with that, we've been creating more chances. I've been gaining more confidence, and I still think there's room for improvement for me. I've missed some chances that I wish I could have back, but that's the life of a striker, and just want to keep improving on the season. We're on a good roll right now, as a team and personally, so just want to keep that going.
Yeah, and I would say for me, my decision going back to Leeds was, it was of course one that took decisions, and I think for me it was, I had unfinished business at Leeds, and just a lot of things pointed me going back to Leeds, and I think that was the biggest thing for me. It was like a feeling and wanting to go back and prove myself again. And I think since I've come back, I would say the first couple of weeks were pretty difficult mentally. It's not easy when you come back, and it's tough because you might see some fans getting upset with you, and it's just difficult. You got to reprove yourself again. But I'm proud of myself. I've come back and done really well. I won Player of the Month, which is really good for me, and yeah, it was a really great start, and now I just want to keep building and keep scoring and assisting, and yeah, just keep getting better.
Next will be Seth Bertelny.
Thanks, Michael. This one's for Josh. Just kind of following up on the question about your ankle. Just what's it been like for you? Because it's kind of been this back and forth where you're playing a lot at the club level and scoring a lot of goals and having a lot of success, and you get called into the national team, and it just the timing hasn't worked out where the injury just kind of flares up. How have you been kind of dealing with that, and how much do you view this camp, particularly with a lot of competition at striker as a chance to sort of establish yourself under a new coach?
Yeah, it's definitely been, very frustrating for me. Like you said, I feel like it's been a lot of, doing, the bare minimum in training throughout the week, and then playing on the weekend and getting by, and then having to recover, and then national team comes around and I'm not in a good place to perform, or something happens at camp where, it's probably the smart decision, not to force it and make it worse. And it's been very annoying for me, coming into these camps and not being able to, play. It's been a while, I feel like, since I've been in, good health and good form while I've been here and been able to play. So, yeah, like I said, at the moment, I feel really good. Ankle feels really good. There is a new manager, so, I'm excited to see what I can do.
Next will be Doug McIntyre from Fox.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks for doing this, guys. Question for each of you. Josh, I wonder if you could, I know it was between you and Maurizio, but if you could take us inside your individual meeting with him. Like, how did he approach that? What can you share about that? And what can you learn from a manager who's worked with, Harry Kane, Son, Mbappe, Cole Palmer, some of the best strikers in the world? Brenden, for you, you played in Austin a bunch of times before. There's the national team obviously doesn't have a home stadium, but you end up going to a lot of the same venues. Just curious how much that helps the team in terms of familiarity, if it helps at all. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, so, sat down and immediately just asked, how Norwich is, how my family is, and, seems like a very genuine guy. At the same time, was just asking, how I like to play, which, clearly he's, watched videos of me, so I'm sure he already knew, but just asking if I like to connect with the team, going behind, whatever, and I said, yeah, I like doing both, but clearly a really good opportunity to work under a fantastic manager, so yeah, very, very excited about it.
And yeah, I can't believe it's been 3 times. It feels like more, to be honest, that we played here, but like you said, I think we do play at the same venues, of course, but we always seem to play well in Austin and have good games. So, it's always great coming back. The facilities, it's kind of funny because you kind of grow used to them. And so it's good being back in Austin, and the love that we get from the fans and the fan base in Austin is really good too. So, yeah, just really excited to play, and it'll be a really good game against Panama.
Next is Mike Waitala from Soccer America.
Thanks. Josh, can you tell us a little bit about what it's like to live in Norwich, and what kind of stuff you can do in your free time, and what the fans are like? Do you get recognized in public? Also, you guys play a crazy amount of games. How do you travel to the road games?
Yeah, so I think it's different for each team and their budget, but personally I believe we fly to 4 of the games this season, and the rest we go by bus. And what was the first part of the question again? Sorry. In Norwich. No, I got it, in Norwich. Yeah, it's a very slow pace. Not much going on, but to be honest, I have my wife and 2 kids there, and it's a very safe area. The city, is good. It has everything you need. And, yeah, it's just mostly spending quality time with my family and hanging out with them.
We have 2 more questions and continue with Brian Sciaretta from American Soccer Now.
Thanks, guys, and thanks, Michael. Wanted to talk with you guys to talk about the intensity of the trainings. It was something that the guys yesterday spoke a little bit about. Said that Anthony Robinson said it seemed a little bit more intense. And then also, if you talk about the importance of the Mexico game against your arch rivals with a new head coach in terms of how important is there more meaning beyond a typical friendly in terms to try to set the tone of the new direction of the team under the new staff? Thanks.
Let me go first.
Go ahead.
Yeah, with the intensity thing, I mean, honestly, always at camps, like with the first 2 days after we arrive, or I mean, yeah, the second day that we're here, it's always pretty intense. We always try to ramp it up a little bit because we know the next 2 days after is going to be a little bit more chill and more relaxed. We can maybe focus on the tactics a little more, but I think after the first day, the second and third day are more intense and more competing at a high level, and I think it's newer. You know, a lot of guys aren't used to like the newer drills that we're doing, so yeah, that's probably on the intensity side of things.
And I think, you know, with Mexico, it's always an important match for us, but especially with a new manager, you know, both of these games we want to get off on the right, you know, page and get a couple wins under our belt. So it's you know, a very important game for us.
First time the U.S. has played Mexico in the friendly in Mexico since 2012. The 1-0 victory, the only time that the U.S. has won a match in Mexico against Mexico. Our last question goes to Andrew Jones.
Thanks, Michael, and that's a great factoid there. Brenden, I know you're in full Red October mode with the Phillies about to be taking place there. I want to ask you first about the game. You two played against each other 8 days ago, Josh Sargent, and then you guys just on that, and heard from a little source that you have good ping pong battles so far.
Yeah. I think for me, watching him we played him 8 days ago, was it? Yeah, it was funny because we have a really good relationship. We're really close, so just seeing him, we can't help but laugh in moments. But you know, like it's a serious game, and we know that. But it's just good vibes always, and it was great to see him after the game. It's always good to see a good friend of mine. So yeah, it was really good, and yeah, the ping pong battles. I'll give him. He has the first place crown.
Yes.
He has the first place crown, and then I think I'm second. Honestly, if I'm putting that out there, I'm second.
We can just clear something up. Like, we're probably top two.
Top two.
Joe Scally is 100% the worst one.
He has
we can
two
just clarify that.
He only have 2 wins from 90 matches already this year. So.